Buenas noches, señores and señoritas. Happy Cinco de Mayo. So, if you are actually watching this on Cinco de Mayo, if you're not, well then, hi, this is Chiro with Minmo Yo. Okay, so I've got a system that I'm actually going to try out, guys. I'm been working on it a few times, and I haven't rolled it out like 100 times, but it's something that I think is pretty good. At least I've actually rolled it out a few times, and it was pretty good. So we're going to try it out. I call it the Missouri Shuffle. It derivative from obviously my state and what I'm going to do with the numbers. So I'll show you that here in a minute. I wanted to talk about really quick about the goal for making the casino pay for my new table. I am going to the casino. My wife and I are actually going to go and spend the night, so it's going to be nice. We don't have to like worry too much about the drive or anything because we'll be there. We're going to be staying at the Downstream is what it's called, and they got a really nice hotel and a really decent casino, pretty decent for Missouri. They actually have $10 tables, which is pretty awesome. The entire time, I actually spoke to the casino, making sure of their table minimums. They don't have the ATS. It is where it's all the combinations of numbers, so it's similar, but it's not specifically the ATS, which is not really, I don't really care too much about that, only because I'm not going to be playing a whole lot of the prop bets. I'm going to be focused on my actual strategy, because that's what I'm going to really be working on, so I can have this new craps table. Right? That's what I'm going for. So, guys, I ended up, it's going to be in a couple of weeks that we're going to go. I made myself a few different goals, especially after the last time I went for the practice session. I realized a couple of different things. So, I'm going to have a stop goal, win stop goal, of course, of 30 to 40%. No exceptions on that one. I even wrote it down. No exceptions. Walk away. It is really, really important to me. Now, that is with my starting goal of 700. Whenever I go back, and hopefully I have much more than 700, it's still going to be 30 or 40% of that amount. So obviously that amount is going to be increasing. So that is really what I'm going to be concentrating on, is to win 30 to 40% and get the heck out of there. I want to stop if I'm losing at 50%. I know that's a little bit excessive, but remember that this is an extreme goal that I'm trying to get $700 to be $7,000 so I can buy me a new craps table. So I thought that goal needed to be pushed a little bit to the limits. I know not everyone's going to probably like that, but remember, this is something that I'm really pushing for. And like they always say, scared money doesn't make money, right? So, but that is something that I'm thinking after 50% of whatever my rack is done, I'm out of there, because I don't want to go any lower than that. The other thing I wrote down was stick to the way that I play. Don't be influenced by anybody else playing their way. Next to me, across the table that I'm watching. Don't be influenced by that. Do what I know is going to work for me and stick to it. So that is something else I wrote down. I do want to pay attention. I did this at the last time. I want to pay attention to the shooters. I think everybody would do this anyway, but pay attention to each and every shooter that's around the table, at least for a significant amount of time. Shooters that are there and then walk away, what are you going to do? You don't really care about them. But shooters that are going to actually hang out and play for a while, like I plan on doing, those are the shooters that I really need to pay attention to, figuring out how good they are. Are they hot shooters or not? What are they rolling? That kind of thing. It's going to definitely determine the amounts and the way that I play, so that's pretty important. That was another thing that I wrote down. And then the last thing I wrote down, and I know these aren't the only things, guys, but this is just what I wrote down. Excuse me. Don't play the pass line on any non-qualified shooters. I ran into that a lot, where I was putting money down on the pass line, and then I was even putting odds, and then I got kicked really hard, and I wasn't really even paying attention to who was doing that shooting. I was kind of going off of the table feel, you know, that kind of a thing. So unless I believe that that shooter is qualified, I am not going to play the pass line on them if I am playing the light side. So those were the few things that I wrote down. If you guys have any other suggestions on that, please let me know. I'd really appreciate that. That's a big help. You guys know I'm really trying to shoot for this. Once again, that's in about 2 weeks and something like that. And then we're going to be staying the night, so hopefully I'll have plenty of time to play some craps while we're there. All right, guys. Here is the Missouri Shuffle. So what we're going to do, and I'm just going to lay the bets out really quick. I'm going to start with $1,200. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put $25 and I'm going to buy the 4 and 10. I should just do one. There we go. And we know it's buying. So I'm buying the 4 and 10. And then I'm going to put $30 on the 6 and 8. And the Missouri Shuffle is really based off of these numbers right here. And what we're going to try and do, so I'm going to roll. If I hit a 4 or a 10, it's going to pay double. So I'm going to get $50 for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put $25 back on here, making it a $50 bet. And then I'm going to put $25 in my rack. If the 6 and 8 roll, or 6 or 8 roll, I am actually going to take that profit, the money. See, I'm trying to get money in my rack, right? So I could very easily just move that over, but it wouldn't be called the shuffle now, would it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the winnings from that, put it in my rack, but then I'm going to shuffle it over. And let's say the 6 happens and I shuffle it over. Now that's going to leave the 6 and 8 open. What I'm going to do now is when I roll, if I hit the 9 or the 5, from that point the winnings will go on the 8 or the 6 from the 9. It doesn't matter which ones. Even if you hit the 9 twice, you can cover it, making all the numbers full. And through that process of filling up your numbers, you're still putting money in your rack. So that was my initial thought process on this one. And guys, I've actually rolled it out a few times. It actually seems to do pretty decent, even on rolls that aren't the 20 rolls. You seem to still put half of the money, if not more, in your rack before you hit the dreaded numbers. So we're going to give this a try. I am going to assume that I am not the shooter, so I'm not going to be playing the pass line, and we're going to go with 5 shooters. I've got these right here where I'm going to just count the shooters. One other exception, if I hit, this is kind of something that I almost do on almost all of my strategies. It's just something I've always done, and I like it. If a horn number rolls, I bet a field. A lot of people like to bet a horn if they see a horn, or bet a horn and a field. I prefer the see a horn, bet a field. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I've got my money out there, and I said I started with $1,200, so let's pick a good set here. Here we go. Here's a square pair. How about that? And we are not working until we have established a point. So let's go. This is actually the first roller. And we have a 6, 4, 10. Point is 10. And let's get it going. And there is a 6, 2, 8. So 25, or I'm sorry, 30 is going to get paid 35. So what we're going to do with that, remember, we're actually going to rack this. and then we're going to move this over and leaving these two numbers open now. Now let's get this going. Let's get a really good roll here. And there is a 4. It's a 4 the hard way. I'm not betting on the hard way. I was just now thinking, do I have any hard way bets? But I'm not on this strategy. So I'm going to get paid 50 on the 4. Because I'm getting paid 50, I'm actually going to bump it up 1 and put 1 in my rack there. So the 4 and 10, we just bump those up and put a little bit away. And we got another 4. Look at there, 3, 1, 4. Beautiful. So that is 50, so I'm going to get paid 100. I'm going to do greens again here. And you know what I'm actually going to do on this one? I'm going to bump up this one to the 50. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and bump both of them up. There we go. Now both of them are at 75, and I still get a quarter. So that's good there. Come on, let's see some. Let's see a 6. I want to see a 6. I want to do the shuffle. And we got a 3, 2, 5. That is nothing right now. And there is a 5, 3, 8. And look at there, both of those open. That's all right. And there's another 5. Wow, I'm hitting all the open numbers. And there is a square pair. Look there, those guys are awesome. I love their channel. I've watched several of their videos. They really are fun. If I had a buddy who was willing to be on camera all the time, I probably would do something similar to that, because they are a lot of fun to watch. If you haven't subscribed to them, you really should. So we've got an 8, guys. That's still nothing there. And wow, look at there. There's a 7 out. Ouch. All right. So what I do if we 7 out, I bring the dollar amounts back to normal. So we had 75 on the 10, 75 on the 4, and then we had on the 9. Now this time I'm going to put them back on the 6 and 8, so we'll be normal on the 6 and 8. Whoops. So, but I will do 75 and 75, and then 6 and 8, because we want to shuffle them. Also giving us an opportunity, because we know the 6 and 8 is a little bit better number. And that was the first shooter. So now we are on the second shooter. Let's get some more dice, right? Something that I don't do often enough is to switch the dice out whenever I move to the new shooter. I'm trying to do better on that one, so I'm going to do it. All right, let's get a point here. And we got a 5, 4, 1, 5. Point is 5. And we got a 5, 3, 8. All right. So we get paid 35. We're going to move that over to the 9, and we are going to rack that, especially after that big loss. And there is a 5, 1, 6. That's the mixer. All right. That is Chris from Sideshow Gamble's number. He has taken that one, and I don't blame him. So I'm going to get paid 35. And we are moving that one over, leaving the 6 and 8 open. And now what we're looking for is to hit on this 5 and 9. Although if we hit on the 5, it's, game's over. But remember, we're not playing the pass line. But we're wanting to move our bets over. So even if we hit 2 of the 9s before the game's over with, I can still cover these up. And we got, oh, look at me. As I talk, jabber jawing, look what happens there. 5, 2, 7 out. Of course, throw on the camera, and what happens, guys? As always, right? No worries. This is nothing more, obviously, than showing the strategy. So because I want you guys to see what I've been working on. Other than the Squid Games, right? That's going to be coming up on Monday. Don't forget about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So there's that. We're back up on $75 on the 4 and 10. And $30 on the 6 and 8. And we're on third shooter. All right. Oh, that's right. We got to get a point here. So the point is going to be 6. 4, 2, 6. And we've got a 7 out. Wow. PSO right there. It's all right. You know, we all go through this part, right? That's why you got to have enough. Now, you could very easily go back to square one and just put $25. I'm trying to recoup my money on this one, showing the strategy. So you could go back to normal if you really wanted to. But, you know, it is what it is. All right. And that was, or this is the fourth shooter right here. And we got a 2, 3, 5. Point is 5. And here's the point. So let's get another point. And 6, 2, 8. Point is 8. And we've got a 9. We don't have anything on the 9. 5, 4, 9. And we got a 6, 3, 9. Nothing yet. And 5, 3, 8. That's the point, so the point's going to be off, but we do get paid on that. There's that. Move that over, and the point's off. All right, I would love to see a couple of 4 and 10s after the point, really. There's the 7, doesn't matter because the point's off. And there's 4, of course, when the point is off. And there is a 5, 3, 9. All right, we got money on that. So we can get 35. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be a little bit different. That's going to be 49. Yep, on the 9, that's going to be 49. So we're going to do 50 for 1. And I need to get some change, so I'm going to get some change here. There we go. And I'll give the dealers 1. But we needed to put it back up, that's right. So there's that. There's $30 on that. We need to cover one more number. And there's a 10. Beautiful. Nice. So that's going to be double. Right there. I'm going to pay myself in greens, guys. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to fill it up with that. I'm going to take that off and make these natural. And now with also my winnings, I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to take that down to 50. I'm going to take this down to 50. I'm going to move these up to 50. And I'm going to move these up to 60. And I'm still collecting 75. Oops. There we go. All right, let's keep this going. Let's go. And there is a 5. Beautiful. That looks good. Whoops. So that's going to get paid 70 because it's 50, right? Yep. It's going to get paid 70. All right. So here we're going to go up 1 on the 9 and 5, and we'll rack the 20 right here. And there's an 8. Beautiful. 60 is going to get paid 70. All right. Now from here, we've rolled an awful lot. You know what's coming, right? If I was really trying to walk away a winner, most likely I would regress at this point, guys. A little bit. I'd regress one, let it roll out, regress maybe one more time, see where it's at, and after that I've actually won a few, so I'd probably start pressing up if it's a monster roll at that point. But this time, because it's the video, I'm just gonna let it roll out, right? We're just gonna see how it goes. So, but just know, most likely I might have regressed a little bit because we've rolled several at this point. And this is not a setter, this is just a random shooter, so. And there is a 10, look at there, 6, 4, 10, beautiful. So we get paid 100 there. And let's go up. Let's go up one. Let's take that one as a gimme and go up one because we're doing pretty good right now. Let's see what happens. And there's a 4. Beautiful. Nice. 314. Point is off. This is 75, so we're going to get paid double on that one. And I'm just going to keep them on greens just because. I'm also going to go ahead and regress down 1 on all of them. Actually, I'm going to regress down, but leaving the 6 and 8 at 60. So we're good to go, but we're still looking for a point, so everything is off. And there is a 549. And those are at 70, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I needed to regress these down 1. That's right, I didn't do that. So those are now regressed down. The 10 and the 9, 4 and the 5 are at the same amount right now. And there is a 5-1, the mixer. Beautiful. Get paid, that's Chris, right, by the way. Sideshow Gamble, we all know him, but he's awesome. But if you haven't seen his channel, you haven't subscribed, you gotta go see him. He's pretty awesome. So that's 70. Guys, at this point, I think, let's see, I'm trying to determine what I want to do. I could press, couldn't I? Why don't we press the 9 and the 5 and leave it at that and see where we're at. And there is a 549. Look at there. Beautiful. Good decision. Point is off. And that is 75, which is going to give me 105. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. Getting a little bit of a profit. Point is off now. Yeah, I'm going to leave them up. Let's get a point. See it? There's a 7. That doesn't matter. Point is off. And there is a 4. Point is 4. 314. All right, come on. And there is the 1, 2, 3, the shocker. By the way, this is margarita, Cinco de Mayo. My wife makes amazing margaritas, so I'm having a margarita. All right. And ouch. 3, 4, 7, out. So we didn't do bad there, guys. Not bad at all. We got one more shooter. I'm going to see if I can roll this one out. So at this point, because we're actually in a little bit of a profit, I'm just going to go back to the original bet because we're actually in a little bit of a profit here. Buying them and right there. All right, and we are on the last shooter. So that was, the point was 4, right? Did I do that right? Yeah, I did. All right. So 9, that's nothing for us. And there is the 516, the mixer. Go check him out. He's coming to see me. I've seen him at his show a couple of times. I think one of his episodes, the Midmo Yo, came up like about 5 or 6 times. All right, let's do 35. So we're going to rack that and shuffle them over. Almost move both of them. Which I could. I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? And there we go. 7 out. All right. I might have lost a little bit because of that 7 out so early. But you can see you have an opportunity, even on not too long of rolls, to actually make a little bit. But let me try and, let me see, where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 2 greens. Now we're missing a green. So, and there was 1 5. So guys, there's 1,000. I'm sorry, 1,000. Here, let me do this. There's 100. There's 5. So there's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's let me see, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, 75, and that's a full rack, right? Yeah, that's a full rack. So there's actually 1,175. So we lost like about, $20. Looks like $21. And that's because that last 7 out happened so quickly. But hey, I mean, I kind of like this. I've done it a few times where I've had a pretty long roll and really got a lot of money in my rack. And then I've had them where there's only like 4 or 5 rolls and then 7 out, and I still made money off of what I had put out initially. So I seem to like it. It seems to roll out pretty decent. Tell me what you guys think of it. If anybody wants to roll it out themselves, be my guest. I'd love to see it. I call it the Missouri Shuffle because we're shuffling the 8 over to the 9, the 6 over to the 5, and then when we hit on those, we bring the rack or the chips back over to the 6 and 8, making all the numbers full on here as we continue to roll it out. So tell me what you guys think. I kind of like it. If you see any flaws in it, I'd love to hear about it, please. And by the way, if you enjoyed this content, press that like button. That like button really tells, YouTube that you guys are into this. So hitting that like button is a big, big one. And of course, comment, because I'd love to interact with you guys as well too. Other than that, guys, happy Cinco de Mayo. I appreciate it, and we will see you guys next time.